You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. I live it.
Alright guys, so like I said in the last video, or 2 videos before as well, we're gonna start getting the kitchen put together. This is a Walmart grocery order that I did that I cannot just find space for right now. So we're gonna go through cabinets. I'm gonna spin you around here a little bit. I know the one video I showed you this. So we're gonna start here because I think I can tackle this the quickest. Okay, so the drawer is completely cleared out and I wanted to do a quick vac, but my vacuum was clogged. So I will say one thing, when you start a project like this, try to stay focused. Like I know personally for me, I wanted to go figure out why the vacuum cleaner was clogged, but I knew that would kind of derail me, and my focus was to get this drawer cleared out, go through everything, and get it all put back in a much better way, a much easier way that we can find stuff. And I knew that if I went and I worked on the vacuum cleaner, that it would totally sidetrack me, and then I'd figure out like cleaning out the vacuum, and then I'd have to clean up after that mess that I made. And I find that if I just put that off to the side, deal with that later, just focus on what I was doing now, which was decluttering this drawer, and it makes it a lot easier to get it done. The other thing I did too to stay focused was anything that I saw I was going through that goes into another room, I would just put it off to the side. I would put it on the kitchen table because, again, I knew if I walked into another room, I would find something to do in that room. And that way you kind of don't feel like you're just running around endlessly and not getting anything done. So I'm pretty much just going to use what I already have. The dollar store bins that were in here were working fine. It was just stuff was getting piled in here. So, I mean, they've seen better days, that's for sure, but they still work, and I was okay with how the system was working out. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep them. And then this is where my OCD kicks in, and I realized not all the cards were in the same direction. Like, this is the kind of stuff that can kind of sideline me, so I try not to do this kind of stuff too often, but now we're just packing everything back into the drawer.
Don't go, just leave, no stay with me. I'm incomplete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. Just leave, no stay with me. I'm incomplete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. How can I love you when you're not
So not only did I realize the cards weren't facing in the same direction, but then I found another card that would have been in that deck of cards. So of course I had to sit there and count them. Another thing to kind of get me sidetracked. But you know what? Everything is put back where it belongs and everything is accounted for.
Just leave, no stay with me. I'm incomplete.
Okay, so we've tackled the junk drawer and that's looking good. It's not perfect, but it is functioning a heck of a lot better than it was. I was shoving that thing closed just so that I could get the drawer closed, and stuff was falling in the back. There were pens all over the place. I have an obsession with pens. I don't know why, but I do. Anyway, we're moving now into the utensils, and a little bit of my OCD kicking in again. I'm counting my utensils because I think some of them are missing. I know, especially my steak knives. Like, I have a couple different sets of steak knives, but I don't have all of them. One of the issues was because all of the knives that were in here, they were kind of like falling into the spoon drawer or like going behind, and I just wanted to get everything kind of cleared out and situated a little bit better. I'm just going to use a Dollar Tree bin that I have to put all of my steak knives in. That way they're there, but we don't use them every day, so they don't need to be front and center. We use our butter knives a little bit more, but yeah, we're gonna do that now.
20-something years ago, those cold nights in December, and the sound of the falling snow, the fireplace warming us, the VHS movie box, your old broke down touring bus, and not a single cloud in the sky. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice.
Okay, so I think we have this drawer looking pretty good. Plus, this is only a temporary for that drawer. My plans is for a dishwasher to go in that space there where that drawer was. Now I'm moving on to more of the gadgets kind of drawer. This is stuff that not necessarily used every day, but stuff that is used often. So it's stuff that I do want to keep pretty easily accessible, like right near the stove and everything. I will say a lot of bamboo, or not bamboo sticks, skewers. And honestly, we don't really do a lot of kebabs, but I don't know why there's so many skewers in here. So we're going to work through this. And then anything that I see in here, like the crab crackers, we don't eat crab that often, maybe once or twice a year. So what I'll do is put that stuff in a baggie along with like the corn cob holders and put that in the back all the way at the bottom, because I know that only comes out in the summertime. So that's something that can kind of be in here but stay out of the way.
All we had was time. Every bad thing and every good, I wouldn't change it if I could, 'cause it all led us up to this. Every moment, every kiss. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt.
I will say too, when going through all of your stuff and trying to get a good system, don't be afraid to try something, and if it doesn't work, move it around. Even if you need to move it around like a couple days later after going through everything. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect today when you're doing the declutter and the reorganization, but after using it a few days, maybe if you're like, you know what, this isn't quite working for me, let's try something else. Always do that, because that's just it. When you're doing this and you kind of have a setup of how you think you're going to want it to work, when you go in using it day to day, if it's not working, change it up. Try and see if something else will work better. That's why I will say, like the dollar store bins and little drawer organizers, like some of these were the 2 pack, so they're 65 cents, or the 3 pack, so they're like 43 cents. You don't mind if something doesn't work that's only 43 cents as opposed to like, and don't get me wrong, the clear acrylic bins are absolutely gorgeous, but they're expensive, and I'm just not willing to put out that kind of money for something that's hidden in a drawer. So I kind of try and stick with the Dollar Tree stuff and see what'll work for me. And that would be, I guess, my best advice is just see what works well for you. Now moving on to the last drawer of the house, and a lot of wine corks in here because I know Mia, she likes to do projects a lot, and sometimes we were saving wine corks for her. I think we actually have like a gallon size bag somewhere of just wine corks, but we're gonna ditch these because, like I said, we have the big bag of them. We don't need extras. This is certain things that are always a staple here, like my foil, plastic, and wax paper always sit in this exact same spot. However, like I was saying with the other drawer, that's going to change at some point because when I do eventually get that dishwasher in here, this is where I plan on putting all of my utensils, or like my everyday utensils. So all of my towels and everything that's in here is going to have to find a new home. So that's going to be a little challenging, I think. I know like the plastic wrap and the foil, that can go underneath here in the cabinet on like one of those little door things, but we're going to see how that works. Now my plan today was to do just drawers, but then the stuff that was on the kitchen table needs to go into the Lazy Susan here. So I'm going to work on that now. So it's kind of the only spot that's not really a drawer that I work on today. I am going to go through the rest of the cabinets this week, but for right now, I just want to take everything in small steps and not be completely overwhelmed or thinking that I have to get everything done in one day. Because one, that can be a little stressful, honestly, because this isn't the only thing that you're doing today. Like I know for me, there's still school drop off and pick up, making lunches, making breakfast, trying to get together dinner, and then just day-to-day chores, getting laundry done, wiping down stuff. So I'm going to say for me, I'm just taking little pieces here and there and working on stuff instead of like doing this big, massive decluttering and like everything coming out of cabinets, drawers. That's just way too much. Baby steps. Because my goal for 23 is to be clutter free, honestly. Like I want to go through, get all of my clutter gone, get some good organization, so that way life just doesn't seem so stressful, or kind of make it easier so that it's not so much of a chore to cook a dinner because you can't find a utensil, or like for instance buying extra stuff because you don't find it in, like I have 3 bags of brown rice that's open, and that's only because, well, I had brown rice that was open but I couldn't find it, so I bought another bag thinking I didn't have any, and then opened that bag, and that's how I wind up with 3 bags of brown rice open, because I'm not aware of what I have because it's not easily accessible and seen and organized.
Thinking we'll be young forever, driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep.
Okay, so the Lazy Susan's all cleaned out. Just doing a quick vacuum underneath of it. I did find a box of rice back there. Surprisingly, it was not expired. It must have fallen off the shelf when one of the spins went around. I do have to fix it used to have a little ledge on it, but pieces of it broke off. So I got to see where I can find something like that. I guess over at like Home Depot or something, but that'll be a project for another day. Now I'm just going to put everything back in. This kind of works as my pantry, and it is kind of a small space to have all of our food in. I do have an area in the back, but a lot of that is our larger appliances, like my mixer and food processor and stuff like that. So this, for the most part, houses any of our day-to-day kind of dinners, pastas, rices, like breadcrumbs and any baked goods and stuff like that. This is my husband's like prized possession. He loves the movie Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and he went to one of their conventions and had one of the actors sign the can of Spam. They used a can of Spam in the movie, and it was his quirky kind of little things that he does like that, but he loves that thing. It probably should be out somewhere, but for right now it's in here. We know not to touch that. Besides, we have had Spam a couple times, but that's not something that we typically gravitate towards. Now I can finally start getting this stuff put away. This has been sitting on the table for like 3 days now at this point, and it was just because there was literally no room in this Lazy Susan for it. And then a bunch of the stuff I am going to take in the back too. But getting all of this kind of cleared out and seeing where stuff is just a good feeling. Knowing that, when I go in the Lazy Susan tonight to grab something for dinner, it's not just all thrown in there.
Love being right next to you. You'll be on my mind. I'll be dreaming about this till the end of time. We are young, we are free, down for the ride. Might be over tomorrow.
Here's the perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. This drawer, when I opened it, I realized, it wasn't working for me, so I kind of just shifted a few things around to make it work a little better. And can we talk about this cabinet door? It was driving me crazy all day today. It swings open. The hinges that I have on it aren't the right ones. When I decluttered the junk drawer, I did find the hinges that I recently picked up for this, so that's going to be a project that I do a little bit later. But it just opens constantly, and you kind of have to get it closed just right in order for it to stay completely closed. I can't tell you how many times I get caught on that door with my sweater walking by. But moving on to now getting the kitchen table cleared off, I'm just going through my bags that I use for food shopping. I've been trying to do a lot of the reusable bags, because where I'm at, they no longer do the one-use plastic bags, so you kind of have to bring your bags with you. I always forget, and I'm sure I will forget the next time I go to the food store. It just happens. But like I was saying earlier as well, I put everything on the kitchen table that I knew went into different rooms, but I just didn't want to get distracted. So now I'm going to go through, work on getting this stuff put where it belongs, and try and get this kitchen table cleared off.
If it's only for now, I don't mind, 'cause I know that your love is endless. It might be over tomorrow, but this day will live on forever. You'll be on my mind. I'll be dreaming about this till the end of time. We are young, we are free, down for the ride. Might be over tomorrow, but we got this day forever.
Here's a little peek of what I'm working on now. This is all of Mia's artwork that she did in high school, various art shows and stuff. And I'm working on getting some frames. I have them in my cart now from Michael's. Right now their frames are buy two, get two free. This is my absolute favorite one. She snapped a picture when she was on a trip down in the city and came home and then did a drawing of it. But I definitely want to get all of this stuff into frames and up on my walls because I'm loving it and it needs to be displayed.
Restoring everything within. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover agents of
The few little items that I have here, I'm just going to put into this little bin. People can come in and claim it when it's theirs. If they don't claim it, I'm going to toss it because they obviously won't want it, right? So I'll let them know it's here and then they can do what they want with it. A few pieces of mail that I just have to go through. I'm just going to put this at the end of the table because I got to get moving.
We lose track of time, head up high, now we climb. Dreamy breeze.
Okay, so we got some things accomplished. The table's cleared off, that stuff is put away. I still have to get rid of and put away this stuff. This looks a lot better. This, I don't know why sometimes we still have a child lock underneath that I can't get off. This looks a lot better. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My house is never going to be Pinterest perfect because it's just not. All right, I don't want to get you guys too dizzy, but we're going to go over here. This, a heck of a lot better. Again, not Pinterest. This really wasn't that bad. I just wanted somewhere to put my steak knives because the handle of these knives are really big and they kind of make everything else fall out. So steak knives, regular knives, everything else. I still didn't get some of the stuff that I wanted to, and yeah. Real life, you know, after you do these declutters, you always have a mess. Oh, I gotta throw that out. And then this is a heck of a lot better. This thing, if you saw in the New Year's refresh, I couldn't even, or reset, I couldn't even open this drawer without everything just kind of getting stuck. So cords, I figured I'd keep these. These should be in the toolbox, but I'll keep them here because we do use them, not often, but notepads for lists, like chargers, like backup chargers, pens and pencils. Does anybody else have an obsession with like pens and pencils? And then back here, I put the stuff that we don't use that often. Cards, ink, extra ink, some tape, some lighters that we don't have stuff for, but yeah, that's that. So today was just drawers and messes. I created messes for myself, but I gotta go. So I will see you guys in the next video. Hey, hit that subscribe button, leave a thumbs up and a comment, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.